Hi guys, welcome back. Hope you're all doing good today. Today I'm going to be in charge of the High Elves, led by Tyrion, up against MG Kraken here and his Tomb Kings. So let's have a look at my army. So I've gone for a bit of a different build from my standard one. Normally I like Alith Anar, he's very thematic, but I thought I'd try out Tyrion and see a different style of play. So over on the left flank, this is where all my heavy hitters are. I have 2 units of these Dragon Princes, super hardcore shot cav, some of the best in the game, heavily armoured, and they really do a ton of damage when they charge in. You've got to be a little bit careful. If they do get stuck in combat against spears and stuff, they are elite, but they can get poked down. Now, leading my forces, of course, is the mighty Tyrion himself. Super good duelist, armoured, armour-piercing, absolute beast in combat, especially against enemy lords. I brought a few of his abilities. So I have brought Sunfang, which is a little spell he can drop. I do have Faint and Repose. Standard ground's kind of standard one. Where's the other one? There it is. Heart of Avalon, which if his hit points go below 20%, he can get a big burst of hit points. So it makes him a little bit tankier. A little bit like Orion with the Cloak of Isha. Now in the back here, I do have a Mage of Life as well. Mainly just come in with those healing spells, just to kind of buff up the Dragon Princes and Tyrion, this little Death Star right here. Now over on the side, I do have a main front line of white lines. My thinking behind this is they're pretty much going to be able to kill most Tomb King infantry. Tomb Kings don't have the best infantry in general. Tomb Guard are kind of up there, but white lines should trade pretty damn effectively. In the back, I do have 2 units of Lothran Sea Guard and 1 unit of archers here, just with some light armour. Now for my opponent, he's gone for a very cool build. He's got a lot of these sneaky snakes. Now I don't know too much about Tomb Kings, I don't have their DLC yet. So I'll try my best with what units he has. But he does have the Regiment of Renowned guys here, the Eyes of the Desert, looking very scary, and they're very monstrous and scary, as you're going to find out during this battle. And in the back he does have a few more of these Necropolis? I'm going to say Necropolis. Necropolis Knights. Someone correct me down below if that's said wrong. Let's have a couple of units of those. 1 with Halberds, 2 standard. And here he does have the High Queen herself, Khalida. Again, these pronunciations are probably off, but you get the general gist. Big scary lady on big scary snake. Now he's gone for a very wide front line here. We've built up a Skeleton Warriors and Tomb Guard. You know, they're mixed in together. They won't do too bad. And in the back, he does have a Leech Priest here of Death. They'll probably get munched fairly easily with the white lines, but I guess we'll have to find out. So let's get this underway. So both forces here have gone for kind of a heavy cav contingent. That's where a lot of our money's gone. And something very strange has happened, so I wanted to show this game. It's a very interesting battle. My cav have moved around the left flank as his was moving around his left flank, from his point of view at least. And we're just going to be crashing into these infantry lines whilst all the cav kind of just avoid each other at the moment. So I'm charging the white lines to intercept. I'm just hoping by blobbing up enough white lines we'll be able to slowly drag them down. The white lines are armor piercing, so they should be able to do a little decent amount of damage against these tough troops, even though they're not designed for it. Opponent is trying to force his way into the back line, and his Lothran Sea Guard are trying to hold them away from the archers. While going to be firing in as more white lines do try and run in and intercept. Now from the left flank here, my cav has come crashing in, and we've just crushed this unit of Skeleton Warriors. They're going down super fast, and this unit of Tomb Guards are going down very quickly. And my opponent does respond with a good old Spirit Leech here on the Dragon Princes, but he is starting to be shut down by Tyrion. Now very frustratingly, Tyrion just seemed to circle around all the time and kept knocking this guy over, not actually doing any great deal amount of damage, so it took forever to kill this guy, when in reality Tyrion is a much stronger combatant in combat. So we've cleared up these units and we're crashing down on the flank now fully. Now how the main battle is going over here, I'm not doing too bad. I mean, I've taken quite a lot of heavy hitting, but I've got healing for the late game, and these white lines aren't doing the worst job against these knights right now. They are starting to drag down a few. However, my opponent's main force is just about to hit home. I have unfortunately kind of become a big blob where I was trying to pin down these cav units. I do get a big Earth Flood off, which is going very nicely, just to heal up these units a little bit more. And I am going to be dropping the Shield of Thorns, right? It gives you that big 22% physical resistance and 25% weapon damage. That's very good. That's going to make these guys much tougher and really should be able to munch through these overwhelming odds here. And the back line, Tyrion is still trying to finish off that Lich Priest. Luckily, he has actually stopped in front of him now, and he's getting those smacks, and as you can see how quickly he does go down. Dragon Princes are just clearing up the back line, getting rid of these Tomb Guard, and then they're going to be coming in. My opponent did try and get a sneaky assassination attempt there on my mage, but luckily on her very fast Elven steed she can be rolling away. So again, we'll be just dropping more and more Earth Floods in, trying to keep this main blob fight going. The white lines are surrounded and beleaguered on all sides, but I know if they can hold and I can bring these Dragon Princes back, should be doing a bit of hammer and anvil technique and smash into the back of these guys to do some serious damage. Tyrion finally killed that Lich Priest. I thought multiple times maybe I should just leave the Lich Priest at the back and move to the main battle. I really wanted to get that Lich Priest off the battlefield. Magic's so powerful, you don't want that coming into the late game to fight you on the bum. So Dragon Princes do go charging in there against impossible odds. They're starting to crash on these Skeleton Warriors, and they're doing a bit of damage there. Now we see the first Sun Fang come down here, blitzing through these Skeleton Warriors and Tomb Guards, who obviously aren't too, they're not super armoured. They do a little bit of armour, but that flame damage should do a lot of good damage. So Dragon Princes do hit and run. They go in there, smack in, pull out, and then recharge again. You want to keep getting that charge bonus. You don't want them to get them stuck in there against these Halberd units. And Tyrion does go balls deep, jumping straight into the middle of this formation, and he's trying to take on the enemy Lord. So if we look, take an overarching view, everything's kind of formed up to this big blob. This does tend to happen in quite a few of my games. I feel like it's because of the builds I take in particular. I'm not so good at stretching those lines super wide. But that's what we were trying to start with. There's a few bodies over here, but for the most part, all the death is kind of happening around here. My opponent does summon some of you Sharp Tea right back here, trying to get some rear charges on the Lothran Seaguard. Now seeing this, I had the idea myself. Pulled the Dragon Princes round and got some rear charges into this blob of Skeleton Warriors and Tomb Guards, really just trying to break them and help free up my white lines. Fortunately, this unit of Dragon Princes is kind of being slowed and picked apart here by the Necropolis Knights, and my mage is also getting a little bit picked, so I'm trying to escape. However, my opponent does something really clever here. It's really like this move. What you do, you take one unit, you get them round in front of the unit you're trying to chase, and then you pin them in, so this mage now has nowhere to go. These brave Dragon Princes are going to have to come running in an attempt to save the prince. Oh, not the prince, sorry. The mage. Now Tyrion is just trying to wail on these eyes of the desert. They're going to do a lot of damage to him, but equally he should do a lot of damage back. And he's also trying to run over here now to save the mate's life, who has popped some healing on herself just to keep her going. And now with the Dragon Princes, they're going to take down these Necropolis Knights with Halberds, who've been a big menace, and we want to get them off as quick as possible because they're one of the main damage dealers to Tyrion left. We have some archers in the back here who have run away, but they've rallied now. They'll soon be coming back and starting to fire into this big blob fight. Much like these White Lions, who should hopefully be running back soon to get into main melee. These White Lions are back to back with the Lothran Seaguard, and they are slowly grinding the way for the Tomb Guard. See the Sharp Tea have dissipated now, as summons do only last a limited time. And these units are slowly being grinded down. However, I'm quite battered, but hopefully with some healing if I have any magic left. I've done use quite a lot already. It should stay in the fight. But disaster over here, my Dragon Princes did commit to this big fight to try and help out Tyrion. Both units have broken. This unit only has 6 princes left, and this one only has 7, so they're very bad. With a little bit of healing them up, come up a little bit, but they are very battered. However, so is my opponent. They did their damage, and Tyrion's going to be slamming into the back of these Necropolis Knights, and should do some serious damage there. Well, they are trying to take their little stabs, but the mighty Tyrion is not too phased at the moment. Still has a big chunk of health, and he hasn't used his healing yet. There we see the arrows are coming back in. They're going to be firing into these Tomb Guards, but soon I'll be switching them over to the Knights, trying to get that big damage. And we do have another Sun Fang coming down, trying to get rid of these nasty Tomb Guards. Who are pretty battered now. You see a couple of them die there, 4 of them, but that does start to break them, which is very good. In come the White Lions, and some of the Dragon Princes have rallied. They're going to come charging headlong in, just trying to do as much damage as they can before they inevitably break and flee. As you expect, there's only 5 of them left. They've been fighting to death very hard. I believe the other unit of Dragon Princes there, these horses running around without any riders left, have actually been completely wiped. They fought to the death though, can't ask too much more. Now Tyrion is in a little bit of a bad situation. He's kind of being poked down constantly now by all of these sneaky snakes. There's a couple over here and a couple here who are going to be pinning them. They're doing some real good damage to him right now. And as you can see, my main line has held for so long. It is really starting to break. With the High Queen here, they are all fleeing in terror. However, they are starting to rally, and there isn't really any enemies that can chase me down right now. My mage was going to scoot around to try and rally them, but my opponent does try and snipe her out, so I do just flee. I'm taking a few little hits when she gets this, speed from the charge. However, on her very fast elven steed, she should be able to escape. Now, luckily, all these White Lions are rallying, and they're going to be coming back into the fight. So at the moment, it's Tyrion just against the world, pretty much. And there's one unit of White Lions here who are getting a big fat earth blood on them, which hopefully also caught this unit here, and also caught Tyrion himself. But he is a little bit beleaguered here. He's completely surrounded. He's trying to fight his best here, but he is in quite a bit of trouble, and he's taking damage from all sides, so he's really starting to struggle. Luckily, some of the Lothran Seaguard have also rallied, so they're going to be firing their shots in as the White Lions come running in. As we can see, Tyrion is starting to break. Trying to get these buffs off, trying to get these heals, but magic is quite low at this point, and Tyrion does start to flee. However, it looks like he's kind of gone out of this main blob. He's exhausted, he's shaken, he's taking a lot of damage. He'll probably stand the ground on himself just to try and boost up his morale a little bit, and he will be turning to fight these snakes in a little bit. The main fight's going pretty good though. The white lines are slowly grinding out these guys. These snakes are really low now, there's only 3 of them, and I mean 19 Tomb Guard and 25 Tomb Guard aren't going to do too much late game. However, I am pretty beleaguered as well, so actually they do count, These little units at the end can still do quite a bit of damage. So I haven't really played the Tomb King DLC or anything, I haven't played them too much. I've never faced the High Queen before, so I'm not sure how good of a duelist she was, so I was running away with Tyrion to start with. However, I do start to pop some of his buffs, and I will come in and take this fight. All my arrows for now are just focusing down at the eyes of the desert here, trying to get rid of them before they get into combat. And the white lions are going to turn in and round, hitting them from behind here. Should be able to destroy those guys quite comfortably. Even the mage now wants a little bit of action, and is going to be popping in. And then you see that fat hill just pops off on Tyrion there. That is the heart that he has, the heart ability, and that just crazy boosted him all the way up. Changed the power balance massively in my favour, and my opponent does crumble. You can see those mass kind of wave of corpses here. This is where all the main fighting took place. Well, very well played to my opponent, very close game. Let's go to the end stats. So well played to MG Kraken. I really liked his build, it's quite unique, I haven't seen it before. I haven't played against Tomb Kings too much, but most people take massy Shopti and kind of some of the big structures. But I actually really liked his little kind of cav build here. And it was really cool actually to see both of us pretty much trying to use the same tactic, going fairly wide with our forces and then trying to use the cav to kind of hit and run very early on. And we traded in that way very effectively. Luckily for me, have the White Lions, these very brave MVPs here, held the line for so long, against some of these really kind of elite troops, and allowed Tyrion and the Dragon Princes to deal with some of those backline troops, and then come crushing in for some serious damage. But yeah, once again, very well played to my opponent. I actually quite like this build. I've been mainly using Alith Anar for Tyrion. It's nice to be able to just chuck a lord in who's super tanky and does a ton of damage himself. The Dragon Princes are really fun to use as well. Super pleased we see 110 kills and 65 on this one. They were very well countered by my opponent as well at different points. And the White Lions in general are just such a solid kind of mid-tier force. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did enjoy, leave a like, subscribe, comment, all that usual good stuff. Hopefully I should have some videos coming up over the next few days. I've been sleeping too much recently, working nights is kind of killing me a little bit. So it might be a little bit slower. But I'm going to try and record a ton tomorrow so I can release them over the weekend while I'm working. I do have a tournament coming up. Not 100% sure when it's going to happen or the format yet, but I'm thinking it's going to be on a Wednesday, so I'm going to try and occupy a midweek slot. I've been trying to find tournaments myself, but they tend to be on weekends when I work. So I thought, I'll just make my own tournament. We'll pop it up on weekends. Got a few people interested already. It's just going to be a small, friendly tournament, probably 4 players to start with, and no ante or anything to start with. But if it's a popular idea or some popular videos, we'll change it as we go along. So if you guys do want to play, just message down below. I'll add you on Steam. We can get in a conversation and we'll make a list of who's going to play and whatnot. Cheers, guys. Hope to see you next time. Peace, peace.